of the day. It's Nigma versus AS Monaco Gambit. So a little bit of a surprise on the side of Gambit as well. How do you feel about them being able to take one game away?
Pleasantly surprised because they swapped two players. The two players left willingly after they were not satisfied with the performance, so they had to find the standings in a week or two, and I don't think anyone expected them to take a game off Team Secret.
Yeah, and you actually brought up right before we went live, and I thought that this is something, obviously everybody at home is going to enjoy hearing a whole bunch, just the idea that it wasn't necessarily in a way that guarantees a great performance, right? You're in a situation where there's some dissent between the players, and now they're here, and it's one of those moments where it's either going to cause them to rise above, to prove how good they really can be for Gambit, or they just fall apart. And it seems like we might be seeing the former.
Yeah, I mean, there are two players, Noah and Seneko. They basically said, we don't think you guys are good enough for us to play with you. That's a harsh feeling. And usually when that happens, it either means you spiral out of control and you're just sad, or it means you're you know what, guys, we're going to prove you wrong. And I mean, they beat Secret. They had a sick draft. They're ready to show that you guys left, but you guys were wrong. We were right. And yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's one of those things too where that's the type of scenario where I feel like you can get that momentum, and all of the sudden you're up against Nigma. Maybe they're able to get another upset, but we're going to find out very shortly here because the draft is underway. We got Gambit versus Nigma. Nigma also, redemption arc. They're trying to get back into their fighting form that we already know and expect from them, and they're trying to be able to lock up a position in TI. They're able to take one. Do you think we're going to see them playing in the way that we saw them play in their second game?
After watching Gambit, the old Gambit, I would say, this should be an easy one for Team Nigma, but after seeing what they've did to Team Secret in game number 2, this might be an interesting series, because Team Nigma, they looked very clean against Vici Gaming. Vici Gaming up there, one of the best teams. I thought that's going to be the best series so far in the wild card, but maybe I was wrong, because it was very one-sided, especially game 2, so we have to see what they have in store for this one.
All right, what do we think about this draft so far as we start to see some of these early picks coming out, AUI?
Well, I'm interested because I think AA is a super strong support. And Nyx is a hero that's been it's been either perma-banned and picked in some regions or not picked at all. I know in China in particular, it's super strong, so I'm sure these teams are watching some of that. And usually against AA, you want these sort of sneaky heroes that get on the back line. Nyx sort of does that. So right now, some interesting ideas going into the draft.
Something that I watched a lot of China. I worked at the Chinese region, so they open up mostly with Nyx Assassin, either Nyx Assassin plus Slash, or if Nyx Assassin is banned out, 3 and plus Lash Viper, strong laner, no matter what. So Nyx Assassin counters, my point is that he counters a lot of heroes, because there's uncontrollable damage going on, especially against the certain ones, like Ember is pretty much not pickable. Same goes for Lash Track, so something that they might have in hand for them.
Yeah, I think that's a good point too, because AA sort of does the same thing, right?
Yeah.
When you say AA, it's really hard to pick your carry. A lot of the heroes you want, you can't pick these Lunas, Gyrocopters, Morphlings, anything, basically any range carry.
Same goes for Spectre. One AA blast, they keep you in the place. I was pleasantly surprised the way Nigma moved around the map. They picked heroes who don't rely on any of the cooldowns. Great automation coming out from them, especially the multiple fluffy hats, just not being able to be bursted down by Tiny in that particular game, so they're understanding what needs to be done is pretty top level, pretty top notch.
Yeah, one of the things though that I think a lot of people were saying, definitely saying in the chat, was that they weren't loving the morph. How do you feel about seeing it again here as we enter the second best of 2?
Oh, you asking me?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were gonna ask the smart guy, because I've been watching AUI. I've been.
Here's my plan. I start with you and
start. Okay. So yeah, Morphling. Flexible, and they played it on a mid lane. They can play it on the safe lane if the matchup is good. Viper, if that's an off lane Viper, he puts a ton of pressure on him. Is not a melee hero, but still you don't like to play into Viper. Viper Nyx just sounds disgusting. The mana burn, you can't use the shift. Maybe an earlier point in it. Maybe it's gonna be a mid lane. I still don't know. Gotta see what's gonna happen next. But to go back, AUI, I watch him prepare. He logs onto computer. Watch the replay at 0.25 speed. uses some fancy words to describe how teams are playing, and then you have me, you know, I'm just saying puck goes brrr, and that's it. So I gotta find the real balance here.
Well, that was one of your best.
Yeah, that's my
really
best. You know, I should be very embarrassed.
10 seconds remaining.
But you're correct, though, right? Like, puck does go.
Well, he really does go brrr.
It really does. It really does. I'm thinking back to some of my favorite moments of working with you right now, and a lot of them were things that you didn't even say on the. Those moments of smiles where you make me completely
because you get the best out of me, Rich. That's why.
I really do enjoy getting to sit next to you on a panel again, and also this is the first time that AUI and I've gotten.
And what is that smell? What is that perfume that you're wearing right now? Is that Lorinov?
Chanel 5.
Pick.
Oh, because Lorinov, like the player, it sounds like a perfume, right? You're a perfume expert.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would wear that, right?
Yeah. Definitely would wear that. And I also would wear the man. I cannot segue out of that. You actually managed to stump me. I was going to try to move that into something about the draft, but I'm just going to have to throw it on over.
Okay, what is that? My question is, what is that hero before Batrider?
Before Batrider?
Yeah, between Darkseer and Bat.
That's puck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the head.
It's tricky. I swear it's because they just went for the black and white images. It's a little bit trickier to actually see the bands from how far away we're sitting from the television. But as we start to see some more picks coming out from Gambit, how are you feeling overall about this lineup?
For Gambit?
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, I like how they're constructing it. Like they have a mix of like I like the Nick sneakiness and I like the long range nukes. I think generally this patch it's hard to take slow fights early. You have to burst heroes because TP scores are really strong right now. So if you have heroes like Snapfire, Viper, and Nyx, it means that whoever you see on the map, like you can just kill them right away.
Yeah, and also covering the Snapfire pick nicely with the Nyx Assassin, one of the worst heroes for Snapfire to play, just one carapace and you're done. Surprised we don't see too much of a Nyx Assassin. Like it's really popular in Chinese region, the hero does well, a bit slow at the start, doesn't provide too much pressure in the lane unless he's paired up with, let's say, like a Darkseer, something that enables him, but overall feels really good, and the Snapfire, even after all those nerfs, the hero feels good. To go back on their position 4, Tusk, Snowball, Save, anti-tank hero. Some heroes really don't like to play. Like Timbersaw, you might be tanky, but not tanky enough to play against the tag team. At all. Like I've been watching, you know, in Europe, I believe just like prioritizing this pick. I'm a big fan. Very surprised, like Southeast Asia, China, they were not picking the hero at all. They weren't picking Tusk at all. No, just the hero was completely gone.
I think right now it's sort of hard for like Nigma's heroes to fight into Gambits though, right?
Yeah.
And I think like in drafting, like if you create disparities in like certain aspects of the draft, like team fight, it's really hard to catch up on those later. I think you can look back like historically, like you can even think about like the Kiev Major in